Podtoid. Podtoid, episode 14. Podtoid.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to Podtoid 14. This is Nex. I'm back from the land of the dead. I don't know, I don't have a good explanation for where I was. But I'm back, and with me is Rob Suma, Ron Workman, who's...
Wait, we're recording?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, we're recording. Welcome.
God damn, I'm unprofessional.
Ron Workman, Colette, and Aaron over there, who's dying of the SARS that everybody's had.
I've been making out with Nero a little too often.
Yeah, it's terrible that we're such an incestuous website, but really everybody makes out with everybody in between the pillow fights. So what's everyone been up to last week? You guys had the whole CES thing going on, you know, getting back from that, trying not to be dead because of all the disease. You wanna get into that, Rob? Ron?
I've been trying not to die. I spent all day Sunday sweating and in a coma, and then on Monday I was sweating and in a coma. And then Tuesday I actually went to the hospital because Ron said I might have SARS. So he scared the shit out of me.
Don't take medical advice.
Oh my God,
Ron.
they're investigating these two people. They might have SARS. So then I go to this shitty ass hospital that I was supposed to be the best one. I had to take a cab there. It's like Columbia.
Harlem, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it was in Harlem. It was. It was a
Why
Columbia.
is the best hospital in Harlem?
I don't know. It's Columbia Presbyterian. It's supposed to be the best, but it's all the way up on 168th Street or something.
Best chicken and soul food hospital.
So I went to the emergency room. I waited for 4 hours just for a doctor to tell me, "No, you ain't got SARS. I would have found out if you had SARS. Here, take this pill."
He said it like that? He said, "No, cracker, you ain't got SARS."
He's like, "No, you ain't got no SARS, cracker."
It's in Harlem. What do I know?
Yeah. No, the doctor was not. Whatever. You're a racist. That is racism.
He's
so anyway,
racist, but soon said, "Cracker, you ain't got it."
Cracker ass cracker.
Yeah, he was with me for a second there.
No, the doctor was actually really cool. I don't know. It just sucked that I had to wait. I wasted 4 hours. I took the day off. Well, I was sick, but I could have spent that whole day watching my S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 DVDs or playing video games, but no, I was stuck in a fucking emergency room with old people and
Oh no, old people.
Degenerates
No.
and bums walking in and out. It was
old people and bums.
Yeah, it was pretty much the worst day ever.
That sucks.
That's what I did this week. It was fucking awesome. I haven't played a fucking video game forever because with my SARS, I couldn't even really play video games. It hurt my head to look at objects move that fast. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been awful.
I actually got to play video games today.
Good work.
I made the choice to play Miss Pac-Man.
Interesting choice.
Intentionally?
Sorry,
I haven't been on live in a month or so or some shit. I haven't done anything, so I played Tetsuo and Faith and somebody else. We played Call of Duty, and I dominated.
Oh, that's
as
right,
usual.
and you destroyed everyone.
Oh, Graybush is a nimble fucker. So if
Did you play Call of Duty 3 or 2?
2.
The good one,
3.
right.
I picked up Lost Planet tonight, and I played some Rally X. God, why the hell I play that game? I have no idea why. Maybe it's because I'm 150.
Yeah. Between that and finger banging B. Arthur.
Hey,
That is really disgusting.
don't bring up
Isn't it?
finger banging in this room.
Sorry.
Yeah, we run a clean ship here next. Jeez.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Stupid motherfucker. All right.
So Aaron, what have you been doing this last week?
Nothing. I've started classes again. This is I'm very nearly finished with my degree, so I'm coming down on the home stretch, but it's basically been a couple of weeks of me getting acclimated to this new schedule of 20 credits a week and getting ass raped, academically speaking, but also sometimes literally, every other day or so.
Isn't 20 a
just
lot?
Quit hanging out in rest areas.
20 is a lot, yeah.
20, yeah, it's.
I think I
normal
averaged
credit load is-
15 when I was in college.
Yeah, normal credit load is 12 to 18, but
Yeah.
I need to catch up, and I'm actually not behind, but I'm trying to get a communications minor worked in. So
What's your degree in?
I don't want to say because it's worthless. English creative writing.
Oh.
Oh.
My friend
that's,
was an English major. He's now a cop for New Haven.
Oh, that's just great. Yeah, that's
My
great.
friend was an English major. He's a heroin addict now.
Yeah, there's a whole, there's a number of great careers like heroin addict that I could choose from after I'm done with this. But
My friend was
Yeah.
an English major, and they now jack me off with a rubber glove for $20 at a Chinese love parlor.
now, see, I'm going to do better than that, Ron, because I'm going to be charging you $80, so you better watch out.
You know what? That was the only thing that I
He'll quote
seriously
you
wanted to
poetry.
do in Vegas because it's legal, and I didn't get it done.
To get
I was
jacked
all
off?
about
It's
going
legal?
to some little, something's legal there. I was all about just, hey, let's go get one rubbed out.
Yeah, they're big on hookers there.
I didn't have time.
It's
But
a
you
cash crop.
You
So-
didn't. I don't understand why you didn't.
Colette,
Anyway,
the one with the ovaries, go. What'd you do
Ron was
this
busy
week?
sleeping.
Nothing. Thought about Castlevania too much. Worked too much. And, yeah, that's it. I'm really boring. I don't really have a
What
very exciting life.
Castlevania?
Well, I have both the new ones for the DS, and I wanted to play through Dawn of Sorrow before I played Portrait of Ruin because I hadn't played it yet because I just got a DS about a month ago. And I'm playing Portrait of Ruin, Dawn of Sorrow, and I'll be goddamned. It just totally reminds me of playing my NES, and like, it's so good and it's so frustrating, like, but I can't throw my DS across the room. 'Cause,
I actually played that on the plane on the way to Vegas
Did you?
for about 10 seconds.
He
and I handed it
played
back to
like
Nero.
midway
And then
through
you
I
had
like
to
handed
one
it
of
back to
Nero's
Nero. I was
games.
like, I don't fucking get it, dude. Here, just take it.
Hey,
and he was
hey,
like, what's,
Nick,
what's there to get?
Yeah.
Speaking
Either you
of
get it or you don't.
Speaking of Portrait of Ruin,
Yes.
I'm at Dracula, but do I have to be super uber to beat him in death at the same time? Because that's fucking. I got my ass handed.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go grind it out somewhere.
A bit. Yeah.
Alright.
It's hard. They are difficult,
Yeah.
to say the least.
All right.
So this week, me. Hold on, you.
Just talk, motherfucker.
Okay, so this week I have been sitting around and Portland has been totally snowed in, right? We like never get snow here, so when it does snow, everything shuts the fuck down. And,
so we're low on
oh, that's
heroin
right.
this week and
oh,
homeless
dude,
people
I was watching Northwest Cable News and seeing those videos of like vans sliding about a quarter
Yeah.
mile down a hill and hitting.
We got
like 9
3
other
inches.
vans on the way down. Yeah.
The whole place fucking shut down, and I couldn't go anywhere. So I've been stuck inside, and I've been waiting for the Burning Crusade expansion for the World of Warcraft to come, and Amazon was like, oh, fuck you guys, we're not gonna bring it. So today, I'm like, you know what, I'm going out and I'm just gonna fucking buy it. So I go out, and I'm not eaten by Yetis, and I buy it, and as I get home and start installing it, the mailman shows up with my fucking copy. It pissed me off
That's what
so
you get.
goddamn
Next.
much.
That's
Yeah.
what you get for playing World of Warcraft, dude. I'm sorry.
I know, it's a pain on my
Aaron.
life, but it's a hell of a lot
Aaron.
safer than my other vices, you know, the drugs and the women and the smoking, so that works. But anyway, moving right along. CES, guys, other than the lack of hand jobs from people who are of Asian descent, what happened? What tell us.
It was
We
all
got
a blur.
SARS from people that were fucking of Asian descent.
Okay,
It was
but
a
the
blur.
video games, the important stuff.
Well, there weren't many video games. Like, the only real video games were in Microsoft's area. Of course, Nintendo wasn't even there. Majesco was the only one that had, like, a Wii game, and that was for Cooking Mama. And Sony just had, like, maybe, like, 4 or 5 PS3
they had
set up.
some plasma.
They had, like,
cells.
Layer and Motorstorm, and they had Gran Turismo, I think. But they didn't really have any presence. Microsoft was really the only presence. Like, Microsoft had a huge presence at CES.
Yeah.
Like, they
Yeah,
basically
you guys
dominated the
had a
whole-
lot of pictures with Peter Moore. I mean, were you like just like stalking him, like trying to hide
He
in
just
his
showed
back
up.
pocket
We were
as he
just kinda
walked
like-
around?
We were just hanging out in the tent, actually, because they had, like, a blogger's tent, and it was really hard to get internet access there, so we just hung out there and did that shit, and then they
so much for
hooked
the
us,
bloggers tent.
and then
Yeah,
they hooked.
they set up a tent for you guys, and they're like, "Oh, but we're not going to let you blog. We're just going to put you in one area so you
No,
can't
they
cause
did.
trouble."
They did.
That's
No, they
great.
did. What are you talking about?
They really, really hooked it up.
No, they were
Like,
awesome. And then,
They
so while
had
we were
an
sitting
outside
there,
tent. That, I mean, calling it a tent's kind of shady because it was really nice, but
Well, I mean,
Food,
I say
drinks,
tent, but
all
I mean,
that stuff.
I just
Yeah.
this is like fancy tent. This isn't
Yeah.
like I'm going out in the woods.
It was
It
the
was fancy
Luxor.
tent.
We're kidding. Yeah.
So anyway,
It was fucking like a building.
the Gamerscore blog guys were there, so they were like talking to us a bunch, and then like they were like, "Oh, well, you know, like you got an appointment." I'm like, "No, I didn't really make any appointments." Okay, so we'll make you an appointment, and then they're like, "Oh, Major Nelson's here," and they just kind of just kept hooking us up with like shit, and they couldn't have been nicer guys, honestly.
That's awesome.
Much better than Sony.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And,
We tried to go up to Sony and look at Lair, and like nobody was there to show it. The only person that was there to show it was like a PR girl who had no clue what a video game was, and she was like, "I can talk you to, but I don't know anything specific." I'm like,
Why are
okay,
you
well,
here?
is there anybody that can
Interview,
give me
she was
something
like,
specific?
You know, I really don't know anything about it.
So you guys should have
That's
asked her
pretty
for
great.
the hand job. At least you could have gotten one.
Yeah. exactly.
No, she was sloppy.
Yeah.
So then we left.
Play nice.
No, you
so
can't
then
be
we
sloppy.
so then we left Sony and never returned, basically. And I don't know. The
The
show was
best
just
part
like
about
huge.
this Sony event, the poker thing we went to, was the free hooch and truffle shuffle.
Yeah,
The
yeah, we had that cool
truffle
Sony
shuffle.
event. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
gonna tell that story, right?
Yeah, Ron, tell
You-
that story.
You lost me.
Ron, tell the
Alright.
story.
So
This is a brilliant story.
I'm just going to be honest, Rob. I'm just going to tell her how it was.
Wait. About what?
All right, me and Rob get in a cab. We head down to the MGM where the Sony event was at
Okay.
some grand ballroom or something. We're walking through the MGM, and wasn't it at the MGM?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're walking and walking and walking. We're getting farther and farther away from people. And Rob's like, "This thing's gonna suck." And I'm like, "No, dude, it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. Come on, it's gotta be good." We walk around the corner, and there's like 3 people in front of a desk. We're just like, "Oh, you're fucking kidding me." So we sign in, and some dude practically writes Ron Workman Destructoid in a fucking crown on my name badge. We got our poker chips to play. We walk in, and it's this little, I won't say little room, but I don't know, 100 foot by 100 foot. Not even that big, probably. This cube.
Nice.
And we're just like, they got 2 big screens set up. Vanguard demo won't even go. They've got like Rally X and some crap.
Now they had like those SOE games, or they
Yeah.
had those games you can download on the PS3 that are going to be
Yeah.
kept coming, like all those Midway ones.
Oh
They
yeah.
had all those, and they had Grip Shift.
But they had some EverQuest chick. I don't know what the difference in what is. So some chick running around like a belly dancer and some running around like Athena, the god of vagina, whatever that is.
Yes. Excellent.
So me and Rob decided to make the best of it pretty much and take advantage of the bar just a little bit. And we just hung out and drank and just like, you know, did what we could. We didn't, there's poker tables all around us. We didn't really play. I got bitched at for smoking at the event, even though they're giving out cigars left and right, but you couldn't smoke them.
Interesting.
So we kept up the drinking, and the one-up guys come in, and we started talking to them for a little bit. And then the guys from, I think, Game Trailers.
There's the guys from Game Trailers were there. It was actually weird because it was a little shitty event,
they
but there
came
were all
in.
these like really well-known game journalists that
Yeah.
I had seen all the time. Like the guy from Newsweek was there, Chobot was there. I guess all the IGN guys were there. I don't recognize them, but
So we ended up having a pretty good time out of it and talking to some people.
Ron
yeah, but-
schooled Gamer Cheats or whatever, Gamer's Edge guy.
I just remember looking over at Rob on a park bench laughing when I told this guy, I'm like, you have no fucking clue. You don't do that many unique hits a day, blah, blah. And then the ESPN guy starts it with his 30 million uniques. And I'm like, you have no fucking idea either. I'm like, man, no, wrong. I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood. I guess I drank enough. But
Way to go. Way to go.
So Jessica Chobot's there. And she's this cute little video game person.
Yeah.
Right?
She, for the people who don't know, she's known primarily for the fact that she's an attractive girl, and that's kind of unheard of in this whole writing about video games thing. Other than Colette here, that's really it. That's all she has going for her. She doesn't have laser eyes. She's not terribly intelligent. There you go.
So the
She likes
mood caught me
controllers, that's
right.
essentially it.
So
Yeah.
the mood caught me right, and I started calling her Chunk. And because she's got fat little cheeks,
Yeah, right.
squeeze her fat little cheeks. And evidently somebody was standing with us, and I was like, I want to see her do the truffle shuffle or something like that.
Oh my god, it happened.
Oh, that's great, man.
So I
We're
got a
standing
nice-
like 5-10 feet away from her, really not that far.
Nice.
She's like right
That's
behind
fantastic.
us.
Did you say that Sumo was like basically pissing himself laughing during this whole episode?
I think I made some comment to Rob about wanting to have sex with her fat little face or something.
Oh God!
But I was probably saying it a little too loud.
Probably.
That's great.
But it was pretty.
I imagine she
funny.
was none too pleased.
We did actually meet some really cool people. The Sony PR lady called me a dick and an asshole.
Were you a dick and an asshole?
Oh,
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah.
he
yeah.
was.
Whoa,
He
yeah.
absolutely.
It was like good cop, bad cop at that situation. Like big time. I was like so the good cop, but she was nice enough to hook us up with stuff, and then she hooked us up with some other stuff later, and blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Dude, if Rob was the good cop, were you like murdering babies? What the
No,
fuck?
dude, I was just like, the only thing I can remember saying to her was something like, I'm tired of all the hand job shit. I need some pussy or something like that. And I wasn't talking
Ron
about getting
just wanted
laid. I was making
50
some analogy
press
about give me
kits
some
and-
copies of EverQuest. I don't want a grab bag. It's like, we need to work this out so we can have some contests for our people and blah, blah, blah. And I was
That's
like,
good.
you know,
Ron was
let's see
just
some
talking
pussy.
to the wrong person about what he wanted. And just,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's excellent.
The night
Way
was
to
That's
go.
CES. But the best part of CES, AVN.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about the porn?
That was the best part.
aside from those little fucking 12-year-old gay boys. That's, I'm
Yeah,
not
It's so
fucking
funny.
joking.
You don't think anything
You
would
weren't
like
there
bother.
the last day.
You don't think anything would bother Ron, but those little gay boys in their underwear, like
In their
he
little-
just
in their
couldn't
panties?
even like
Just
look
the
at them.
pictures of the gay boys with Nero were
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
they're
funniest
Yeah,
thing in
it
the
was
world.
fucking hilarious because you guys didn't have to take the picture. I was creeped out.
I took the picture.
Oh, Ron. Poor Ron. Did you catch the gay, Ron?
Yeah,
Were you
we
afraid of
went
catching the
back.
gay?
Me
Did
and
you cover
Nero
your
went back
mouth?
the last day after Zoom the left. Like, we had a couple hours, and I was like, let's go back, and we'll get some porn stars to say also cocks, and, we'll get some footage, blah, blah, that we didn't get. Because, we didn't want to drag around the helmet or whatever.
Mm.
So we go back down there, and Nero's like, we got to go to those guys, and get the also cocks. So I'm like, all right, man, all right, let's do it. And we get there, and I see him, and I freeze up, and I'm like, dude, I fucking want to go home. I can't do this. I was like,
I'm done with this. Go back to the bayou.
They were
seeing
disturbing.
shit come out of
looking.
people's vaginas and assholes and little gay guys running around. I was like, I can't do. I'm torn out. I am burned out on the tits and ass this week.
That's
And
great.
I don't need to see guys in their little 12-year-old underoos boners. It was just too much, man. They had these little
kids were the
boners sticking out. They were just
funniest
pointing at you, and it just fucking ate at me. I had to get away from it.
Oh man, that was classic. I'm so glad we found them so I can get a picture.
But dude, oh god, there were some rugged-looking people there.
Oh god, they were like the old porn stars with like the old boobs and like the veins.
Yeah.
Paint roller put their
Disgustingness.
makeup on. Oh
Gross.
god.
The world of pornography is not
And
all
I
beauty
saw
and
some of the
pretty
biggest
vaginas.
meat curtains I've ever seen in my entire life.
Nice.
Ew.
Tracks in the snow time.
That's
Ew.
great.
Ew.
Well, let me tell you, CES though, I mean, like it was a lot of work and it was rough. And the thing that sucks that people don't understand, like they think that we didn't get that much done or whatever, but like we had no internet access like anywhere. I wasn't able to check my email until like Wednesday or Thursday.
And some of the video we shot was to use 2 months from now, for some of the games that are coming out.
No, I
don't
mean
need
we
to
got
cram
we
it
got
all
some
out
good
there.
stuff, but like people just got to be patient with it. And they also got to remember like CS wasn't all about games. Like this is an electronic show. It's not. There really wasn't that much game stuff.
And
we
it was
pretty much
all
got what we
over
could.
town.
Yeah,
Different events.
It
Different
was crazy. We were
venues.
spending so much money and waiting in line for taxis and shit. Like it was just. It's not like it's in one area and you can just go see something and then go blog about it right after. It's just. It's
Right.
a circus.
Like
man.
constant-
Like
It's
the
a fucking
EverQuest
circus.
stuff we're giving away on the site, the lunch boxes with a Vanguard and blah, blah. Me and Rob had to leave the next day and probably spend $50 round trip and cab fare to go get that shit so we could give it away. It's like, even though it was free and it was swag for us and Sony was awesome giving us the stuff, we had to go run around and pick it up, and then come back, and it's not as simple as everybody thinks, where it's just like you go right next door to Microsoft, then you go to Nintendo, then you go to Sony, blah, blah, blah. No. Well,
Fair enough. And I don't think a lot of the people who were like, where the fuck is all the content? What are you guys doing at CES? I don't think they realize just how much stuff went onto the sister site Nextlust.
Oh, yeah.
There's
absolutely.
layers
They're,
of it, yeah.
CES is like a technology show. Nextlust is a technology website. So go there. There's stuff there. You know, the whole iPhone thing? Yeah, we did stuff about that. Go there.
Don't buy the iPhone.
Ron hates the iPhone, apparently.
Ron owns an iPhone.
Ron, I don't need any convincing not to buy
Yeah, I
a
don't need any
$500 cell
convincing
phone.
on that either.
But you know what?
It
Some
looks
people
pretty as
probably
hell,
do.
but
It looks
You might have to
cool.
convince me not to
It's
buy
cool
it. 'cause-
aside from the fact that I spent 2 hours at Sprint trying to tell them that Apple told me it would work, and they're like, no, we have no plans to even
It's
add
only
that to
singular.
our network. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only
Yeah,
singular.
singular.
Oh, well, never
But
mind.
so,
then I'm
yeah,
not-
So
no
you're
thanks
just
for
pissed
that.
because Apple jacked you with this phone? Is that
Dude,
The,
anything jacking me right now would make me happy. Hand job.
all right
And
then?
relief.
Excellent.
No. They sent me the phone, and it's a cool gadget, and they sent me the 4 gig, and it's got some neat stuff, but you can't see it all the time when you're dialing in daylight. I mean, it's a fucking phone. You know,
Right.
Primary use, it should work best as a phone. And that touching, I don't know. I haven't got to play around with it. I haven't had it activated, but so I don't get to do all the options. Fuck Apple.
Fair enough. Okay. So, but that's it? That's all you, that's the only reason not to buy it? I don't think that overrides the cachet of the device.
No,
It's so cool, but it's just like, yeah, it's not a good
It's $500
phone. It's not.
for a
It's
phone.
not a. Yeah, exactly. And it's
$500
seriously
is like
not even a
the
4
great
gig.
version, though, right? Like,
It's
isn't
not
like,
even a 4 gig iPod. It's not even a Nano because it
Ron, you're going
doesn't give you
robot
that much
on
storage.
us.
Bam-a-lam.
That fixes everything somehow.
Yeah.
There we go.
Just
Yeah.
do that next time it happens.
Yeah, totally.
It does
Um,
every time I say bam-a-lam, it works.
yeah.
What'd you guys think of our CES coverage?
I liked it, but I thought the whole, you know, talking to 12-year-old porn stars things was hilarious. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I was in it for.
Yeah, I was kind of in it to see the porn, and I love that picture of the chick with the robot helmet on. It's just awesome.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the Destructive Robot has tits.
She was
What-
all
what
about
happened
doing
in
that.
Nero? Oh, God.
And Nero's suit was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
it was.
dude.
Yeah, he wore it
He
every
was
day.
pimping that
Everyone
shit.
was all suited up, man. It was
Except
great.
me.
Actually, no, Suma, you didn't wear a suit at all. did
No.
you?
No.
No.
I don't
Everybody
wear
just
suits.
wore his Nazi coat everywhere.
I don't wear suits.
Yeah, he's big on that German combat
guys,
suit.
today.
Oh yeah, hey Suma. Now that I've actually seen you like in action, run around and whatnot, I have to throw my hat in the ring and agree with some of the commenters that have said that you look exactly like that guy from fucking Lost.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? Matthew something?
Matthew Fox.
Matthew Fox. You look just like that motherfucker.
See,
It's
I thought-
uncanny.
I
Yeah.
thought you looked a lot less like him after I saw you on G4.
Yeah.
Because you
During
you
season
talk
1.
differently.
During season 1, I looked really like, I don't know. There are certain moments in season 1 where I thought I looked more like him, but I don't know.
You need to get that rugged half beard shit going on, and then you just have to run around saying, "I'm a doctor and I'm on an island and
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on," and then people's gonna be
Right.
like, "Oh,
I'm
fuck, it's
lost.
Matthew Fox."
I'm lost.
Yeah.
I
Also,
pulled out my pants.
you have to become a huge
Airplane
pussy.
broke apart.
And what
Yeah,
Fight
color?
a polar bear. Polar bears are awesome.
Don't say huge pussy.
Why? You got a problem with huge
Oh,
pussy?
Ew.
It disturbs Ron.
It's something about it.
You're gonna
I
make
got
him
this
cry.
No, 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 no,
filter
no.
that just
Trust me,
doesn't
I have
exist
a
until
problem
somebody
with huge
says,
pussy too.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So on the topic of how Rob looks, this
Lot
kind of
fun.
segues into the next thing. Rob was on G4. It
Who?
was what, yesterday, Rob?
Hell yeah, he was.
Hey, dude, you're famous.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Way to be on international television.
Yeah.
Right.
It's on international?
I'm sure someone in Spain or Mexico gets it. So yeah, that's 2 countries. That's international.
Mexicans don't own TV, stupid.
They steal them. They sit in your backyard
Dude,
and look through
they
your
steal
windows.
Steal your jobs.
I'm stealing your yobs.
So Rob, how was it? First off, I just want to ask, because I don't really know how it works. Okay, so they're doing their thing in LA. Rob is in New York, so they must have had some kind of remote satellite thing that totally goes over my head because I'm just a caveman who was frozen in a block of ice. And
It's sort of like Willy
unfrozen.
Wonka. Didn't you ever see Willy Wonka where they put
It's
him in
not.
the TV
You're
and they...
lying. You're full of shit. The point is, what do they like? Have you go to like a
Yeah,
television station?
No, it's just like an independent studio. Like all it was like you go. It was up in this office building on the 12th floor or
There's an
whatever.
orange van out in the playground parking lot.
But you did have to go somewhere, right?
Yeah, I went somewhere else, and it was basically I was stuck in a room with a camera, and that's it.
Okay.
Me with a camera with lights and a desk, and that was it. In a room,
Nobody else was
closed the
there?
door.
There
were like
reception
reception
or something.
Yeah, there's like a screen behind. It wasn't green screen. It was just a plain. It was just like a Sears.
So
backdrop.
could you see that living
No.
abomination that is
I didn't
Kevin
see
Pereira?
anything. I didn't see anything because Kevin's not that bad. I didn't see anything because I didn't want the monitor on because there's a 10-second delay between live and what's aired. So
how'd you get the audio then that you were
No,
responding
I hear
to?
the audio. No, I hear the
Okay.
audio in real time. It's just that
Got
the
it.
monitor was on, I would have saw the delay, so that I didn't want that to like throw me off. And plus, they were very focused on me wanting to stare at the camera, so I didn't want to like be distracted by the monitor there. So all I could do was just hear everything. So I got there like at 6:30.
That was a half a thought.
Okay.
No,
Well,
The thought is over.
Bam-a-lam.
I got there.
Bam Lamb.
There he is.
Still there.
I got
I'm
there.
a rock.
Shut up. I got there at 6:30.
You got there. Yeah.
I got there at 6:30. They set me up. No makeup, no nothing. I had a fucking pimple because I was fucking sick and I was embarrassed. But anyway,
It didn't show up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it did.
No,
Nobody saw it on TV. Everybody
I
saw it
saw
via
it.
the internet. So
Rob,
I saw it. It sucked because I was sick. So anyway, they talked to me, like Kevin talked to me before the show, and then the producer was talking to me. Kevin said he really liked that video where we called him slapping Olivia's ass. Like he was really into that.
yes, right. I liked how he slow-mo'd that.
And
That was classy.
I was like, Kevin, that gave you a ton of street cred. And he's like, yes, finally. Something gives
Sweet
me
guy
goddamn
like
street
me.
cred. No, I think Kevin's like a fucking nice guy. Like from talking to him before it aired that night, and then while it's at the AVN, Kevin's just a really nice guy. I think that what you see on TV and what you see in real life is two different things. Just kind of like me, what you see on the internet, what you see in real life are kind of two different things.
That might be, but
That was
his
one
face.
of the coolest comments I heard when we got back. I was in Ventrilo and I heard somebody go, "You know what? I used to think Sue was a complete asshole. Now I totally don't at all." That's Sue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So-
Like, he's not a dick at all.
Yeah, so I'm
Oh,
basically
man, that's funny.
So I'm basically sitting there after the producer talks to me, and I'm basically sitting there listening to them rehearse their opening segment. I guess they rehearsed the first segment before the first commercial, like that whole part before the commercial, because they did that whole thing. So like I heard them rehearse it and joke around with like the crew and everything, and then like it goes, and then it just is like goes straight onto the show, and like I hear him go through the show, and then at the first commercial break, the producer comes on, he's like, "Okay, Robert, you're gonna be up next, and we're gonna go to you first, blah blah blah." And but beforehand, earlier that day, they had sent me the questions of what they wanted me to do. Like they sent me the questions of the questions they were gonna ask. And they wanted.
They only asked the one question, though, didn't they?
I know. Well, they sent me like 5 different questions about.
Were any of them better than the bullshit question they gave you?
I kind of mentioned that to them. I'm like, well, is it okay if I go off into like
you guys
maybe
fucking retarded?
PC gaming versus consoles, not just WoW? And they're like, oh, we kind of want to
Yeah,
be
as if
first on
WoW
WoW.
can actually kill consoles.
So like I gave them my
Yeah.
answers because they wanted to like know where I was coming from too, but also so I could like think about it better. And they also wanted to make sure I was like played the devil's advocate. Like I don't necessarily hate World of Warcraft, and yeah, everything I said on the show is absolutely true. But they wanted to make sure that like I was the devil's advocate to her being
So that they could
pro-WoW.
drama up the TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Even
well,
even
considering-
So wait a minute.
They didn't
So wait a
give you
minute,
the
they
chance
had
to do it.
They
Yeah.
had the questions. So they gave you the questions. Did they give you that question about whether or not it's worth the $460? So wait a
Yeah.
minute. That girl from One Up actually had time to think about what she was going to say, and that's what she fucking said.
Yeah.
one game.
Oh my god! I wanted to jump through
mean,
my monitor and show
it
this.
sucked
I
because,
was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
they were like,
I mean-
speak up. They told me to speak up.
You
And like,
get a free computer when you buy WoW because I only need one game. I don't have any friends.
they told me to speak up and like say what I wanted to say. But
I
like
wish I could choke somebody through a TV.
every time
Alright.
every time I spoke up, like she just kept going and going, and like I didn't want to seem like an asshole. And then I would try to like get in again, and then like Kevin would cut me off. So it's like
Yeah.
I kept
Let
trying to
me,
like talk, and I just
Let me just stop you for a second there, because there might be people out there who are listening to this who have no idea what the question was that we're talking about. Rob, what was the question?
the retarded one.
The retarded one that you were on TV with answering.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, it was basically, can World of Warcraft kill console gaming, or can World of Warcraft like be the
Yeah.
savior for PC gaming and all this shit? And
Right, and
like,
honestly,
Is it
I
worth
think we could have had a really good
$460 to play
discussion
for
about
2 years?
PC. Yeah, I think we could have a really good discussion about PC gaming versus console gaming, and maybe if we had more than like, it seemed like 3 minutes, like not even
Yeah.
that long, but they kept wanting to focus on World of Warcraft versus console gaming, and that's just not like
Burning
even
Crusade.
close.
well, but you know what? The thing is that the girl that you spoke against, I hate to admit it, but the more I thought about it today, the more I realized that they wanted her there so she could represent an entire demographic, which is the WoW player, and there's a lot of them like that.
Yeah,
there's a
she
lot of
had
them
to-
that are
she had to-
100% like that, you know?
Exactly. She had. It's like me. I kind of had to do the anti, and she had to be the pro, and that's just the way they wanted it to be. But that's not to say
She
that.
definitely didn't do that.
I mean, like, I liked playing World of Warcraft and I had fun with it, but definitely everything I said was exactly how I feel, and I think that's the truth. But it maybe came off to some people that like, hey, why is he talking about World of Warcraft? He hates it, and why is he hate World
Weren't
of
you
Warcraft?
like a level 60 or troll or whatever the hell?
I was like a
or
level
something?
50 before I finally burned out. I was like a level 50
There you
mage.
go.
Yeah.
The also just another little bit of back information. The woman that we're talking about, the
Karen Chu.
utterly retarded bag of flesh that we're talking about, was Karen Chu from what is it?
Well,
One
I
Up?
mean, you got to also
One
realize, I
Up.
mean, this is live TV, and this was
Yeah,
her
you're on
first
the
time
spot.
as well. I mean, this was
That's
my
true.
first time and her first time on live.
Not
national
everybody
TV.
can be as charming.
But she had time to prepare for it.
I
mean,
know, but still, it's like once that
It's- and-
camera's
and
on
again,
you, and it's like,
like,
when
I
you're
know
just
I'm
in a
ripping on her,
room with a
but-
camera on you, it's kind of like, and like,
Oh yeah, it's a whole different
man.
story, and I would have no
Yeah,
idea.
it's really
Not-
hard to
not-
get the money
yeah, no.
shot, and you're
Exactly.
embarrassed because there's people with
Exactly.
microphones all around you, and all
Yeah,
the
and-
strangers are
And I know I'm ripping on her and all that, and I'm sure she's a smart girl, but her response, and I was like, okay, sure, whatever, with her up until the point where she said that, where she somehow compared buying, where she somehow stated that it was a better value for your money to buy, 2 years of WoW and the game and all that.
And according
with
to her,
that
you
console.
get the computer included
Right.
because she's
Yeah,
comparing it to a PS3, not a
But
game.
you know, my bitch about that, quite honestly, is that, like, yeah, she has a point for people who want to play long term, and a lot of people do, and that's fine.
Like
but
I'm playing right now, by the way.
Like Oblivion, like fuck,
But-
there's a ton of games you can play.
yeah,
for-
but you know what? Like, the people that want to play
People
WoW
still play
don't
Diablo
spend that much
too.
time in
2
one
years
game.
in a game.
Yeah, no, exactly. A lot of people just want to sit down and have fun for 20 to 30 minutes, and that's
what's
why
that?
consoles
What's
are going
that
to keep
stuff we
winning.
used to get before we played WoW? What's
Hi?
it called? Pussy.
That's good. True.
Hi.
I think anyway, though, I mean, I'm not gonna like fault her for anything. I thought it was a good segment, and I thought maybe the question that G4 was asking was just more forced, more
Yeah.
than like how we
Yeah.
came across or whatever.
It really was. It
they
was the
really
kind of
tried
thing
to
where they're
force
just like,
that
what is
World of
the
Warcraft
most
down someone's
stupid thing we can come up with to make people talk about us? You know, it's like when Fox News does anything to just boost their ratings because they're such jackasses. It's kind of like that, except not nearly as highly rated, and somehow Bill O'Reilly is more charming than Kevin Pereira. God, Kevin Pereira, I hate you so much. I
Why
wanna
do you
kill
hate him, man? He's a nice guy.
I don't know why. It's like every time I
Dude.
look at his face, I want to punch
All
it
those
into
guys are
dust.
just nice. I mean, I think a lot of that stuff isn't their fault, and like I feel like
Sure,
a
it's
lot
not,
of the decisions that are happening higher up are just
No.
reflecting, like they're having to take the shit, like AOTS and G and some of the other people, like maybe like Adam. I mean, those guys are having to take all the shit for what's happening above them. Like,
Oh, yeah, he's like
Yeah,
the kind of
yeah.
you could have a drink with or, smoke a joint with or something. Kevin Pereira seems like the kind of guy I would have kicked in the dick in high school.
I don't know, man. I think he's just a really good TV personality for like what the show is and everything. I can't really say anything bad about the dude.
You cannot blame those segments on the actors. You cannot.
Yeah,
Like,
I
if you-
can't.
The
I can't
writing,
put all that
I
on
don't
Kevin.
know. Whatever.
I mean,
Oh, I don't. No, but I blame how he looks on him and his parents and evolution. I hate you, Charles Darwin.
I think we
moving
should
right
move
along.
on.
On that note, so Destructoid is exploding. I was thinking about this the other day, and I came on like maybe 2 months ago.
Like a
And-
cocky film.
Hold on. Our Alexa rating was around 10,000 at that point. Actually, I think it was like 13,000 when I
dude,
first
I
came
came on 3 months before you. It was over 20,000.
Yeah, it's now like 5,600. What is it at the moment? Anybody know?
Yeah.
The side of the site?
Around
Ron?
there. It's around the mid
53
5,000s. Yeah.
53 something. That's in half in 2 months.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's our average. That's different.
That's average, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
To get your 3-month average up that far in 3 months is ridiculous. It's compoundingly hard, if that makes any fucking sense at all. Compoundingly hard.
Yes.
It gets harder
That's
the farther
I'm
the
pounding
ladder.
you compoundingly hard.
Yes.
You get that?
Compoundingly.
Pound that ass.
Good work.
Pounding you compoundingly.
But we actually hit a 1,200 Alexa rank there for a couple days.
At CES.
Yeah.
Right at the right time. Right at
We
the
were
right
the
time.
number one video game blog in the world. In the world. Numero uno was
And this is from posting pictures of a guy in a robot mask with 12-year-old porn stars.
This was before we even
This was
started
before
doing
that.
Yeah, this is
And we were
You
just
could
looking
feel
at
that it
each
was
other.
coming.
Yeah, some guy from,
They were just
I wanted
waiting.
to say where, but somebody called us from somewhere, and they're wanting to work on some stuff with us, and they're like, you guys know you're the number one blog, and we thought they were just blowing smoke up our ass.
Right.
Sure as shit, we do a little bit of research, and we are number one above Joystick, Kotaku, blah, blah, blah. It was crazy.
Yeah, take that, Crescente.
We've been around since March, bitch. Go buy your boy some new clown shoes and get your numbers up. Wait, I like Brian Crescente.
I do
No,
too.
I do too. He's the only one
I'm
of them.
talking to have clown shoes writing for him.
Yeah.
Bam-a-lam.
That's Justin Murray, right? He's the clown shoes
Yes,
guy?
that would be
He's
Justin
clown
Murray.
shoes.
Right. Yes, we don't like Justin Murray.
No. That's a guy we want to punch
They
in
Do you
the
let
think
him
he's
out of his
aware that we?
cage
Do you
once a
think
week
he's
to
aware
dig
that
and
we
write.
talk about him all so much?
Oh, he knows. I've been emailing him like daily and been like, dude, we hate you. You've got to
We
read
hate
this.
you so bad.
Yeah. But I also email Kevin Pereira. I don't get any responses, so.
Leave Kevin
But,
alone.
so what's been going on though? What's new with the site? Ron, Rob, you guys know a hell of a lot more than I do because I'm asleep most of the time or tired.
I don't know what I'm
Wow,
allowed to say.
people.
I don't know what I'm
If any
allowed
WoW
to say.
people are listening to this, I'm working. I think we'll have your actually PC gaming. We gotta bulk up the forums. I'm sorry, we're not trying to abandon anybody. We know there's a fuckload of people hanging on the forums, and we've got to bring some more stuff to you. And we're working on it heavy duty, and it might not even be done tonight. But well, hell, it should be done by the time the show's out. So just letting you know, we're working on that quite a bit. The community blogs, we are going to go ahead and move into a true beta of that. Have some, I don't know what I can talk about not. We've got some very cool people that are going to be blogging with us and for us. And we're going to have a handful of people right now that have their own community blog. We want everybody to have a community blog pretty soon. But it's a undertaking to say the least, because when you download or upload stuff to us, blah, 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 it's on our servers, and we've made the changes. I believe we have all our servers lined up. We're ready to go to make this push, to grow and to provide more to the community. So it's ready. Just letting you guys know that everything's in gear. We want to have it set up to where when you get your own community blog, like say you have a guild in WoW, I really, hopefully in the future we can do this, want to see it to where like you can have your own RSS feed, so people in your guild will get the message that there's guild news, or that you guys can you can recruit from it, or you could post news, or when you have a raid, or the results of a raid, or even
All right, we
YouTube
get it.
videos of it, stuff like that. What?
Nothing. Just telling you.
That's
to move
impressive.
along.
I had no idea
I
about
understand what
this.
you're saying.
Yeah, that's some of the stuff we're working on the community blogs. We're going to get our tips button back up pretty soon, so you guys can send us in.
I thought it was
stuff if
already
we haven't
up.
Get anything. No,
Well, it's on the
gone.
bottom, but
Is it?
yeah, because we've been getting tips lately,
Bottom of
mostly
what?
from other websites. It's on the bottom. It was.
No, those
Oh, I
are people
saw it.
that just use that.
Yeah, it says
email,
"Be
just-
famous," sort of. Submit a news tip to Podtoid. It's on the bottom.
What?
Noob.
No, it's not, dude.
Yes,
It
it
doesn't
is. There's a
exist.
link
No.
on the bottom of the Destructoid.
Dude, yeah, it's
Internet
at the bottom
button.
of the
Boop
page.
beep boop pop boop pop. Be famous,
Bam, bam.
sort of. Submit a news tip. Yeah, I'm making it up. I'm just pulling out my ass because we've been getting tips the past
On the
week.
bottom of what?
Fucking retard.
Go to the
Some
website.
site named
Jesus
Destructoid. I
Christ.
never heard of it.
On the bottom of never mind.
On the
Moving
bottom
on.
of your ass.
Jesus,
That
okay.
little fucking piece of shit line? Are
Well,
you
that's what I'm
serious?
just saying. I'm saying there's
There's a button
something
that you
there.
could- that fucking
Okay, I know. Well, I know.
Ray
I-
Charles could see something big, and he's dead. James Brown.
no. Okay.
Loose cannon. Ron's a loose cannon.
Loose cannon.
So at some point we are going to talk about video games today.
Who?
And it's right now. Right now is this point.
We need to
what
not
is
be so
this?
much about video games.
We need to be about porno and Ron singing lyrics to old 70s Southern rock songs. With ass rock. Okay, so the Ghostbusters game. The game.
I thought that wasn't going to be a game. I thought that.
Well,
was
it's not a game, but God damn it! Stop ruining the fucking surprise.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so for those who don't know, this kind of like tech demo thing appeared on YouTube, and so we and everyone else posted it on their sites. We had it first, by the way, and then it exploded. But it was
It'll be up on Joystick within a week probably, so watch out for it there.
yes,
Clown shoes. Clown shoes. Gonna say it's a new game.
It'll be on Podtoid later this week.
but it appeared to be like, honestly, what it appeared to be was like Gears of War done in a Ghostbusters mod, but it looked fucking great, and
Yes, it did.
the Ghostbusters aspect of it looked fucking cool. They had like, pre-rendered Bill Murray and everything, and it was phenomenal. Aaron, you want to tell us how hard that made you?
That made me fairly hard. Yeah. Usually as hard as about, it's about tantamount to seeing Ron in his suit. That's about how much it got me going.
Wasn't that the Unreal Engine, right?
What, say that again?
That was the Unreal Engine, the same thing they used to make.
Yeah.
I thought it was their own personal
Unreal
engine.
3 engine, yeah.
Oh, what?
Um, Yeah, and it's, it just, like, I'm all for, I don't know, I think the Ghostbusters, like, I don't like licensed games, I can do without them, whatever. But there are those rare occasions, kind of like, the fucking, Chronicles of Riddick game that would actually turn out really well. There are
Yes.
these rare occasions in which a license can go in, great directions. I think Ghostbusters is one that's long overdue for a revamp. Like, cause, what Ghostbusters games have there been? Like, there were those two really shitty ones on the NES, and
There's
God,
one
they
on
were
the
horrible.
Atari, I believe, the 2600.
Yeah, the original, the first Ghostbusters game on the NES was like the second NES game that I got. I got it for my birthday. And I hated my aunt for getting me that game because that game was such a pile of shit. And yeah, it's, to this day, I'm like, fuck her, man, because she got me
You
Ghostbusters.
bitch, I'm 8.
That's right. I'm
Fuck
capable
do I
of
know?
hatred at such an early age, right? But
That's right.
it looks fantastic. I was really, really sorry to hear that it's not. Now, next, go ahead and explain to us what came of it, because like I'm kind of unclear on it. It was just a demo and
yeah, a company called Zootfly were the ones responsible for it, and after a lot of digging and looking around and everything, the consensus that the internet has come to is that it was kind of a demo put together to generate a ton of interest on the internet, so that the IP holders, which would be Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman, would be forced to be like, yes, go with it, make that game. The only problem is that A, Bill Murray's a cunt and won't license out his image to anybody, and B, they don't seem to have the IP anyway. So no, I'm rock and roll, Bill Murray, way to go. But at the same time, he no longer does that sarcastic, laid-back comic thing that I
now
respected
he
so
does
much.
the super serious, I'm an ultra actor.
Yeah, which he's
motherfucker.
great at.
He
and
is. He's
Lost
very
in
good at it, but
Translation
it's-
was fantastic, but he
it's
also
such a-
should do the other.
It's a shame though that like the last funny movie that he was in was what, The Life Aquatic, and that was one of those like I'm going to be funny, but in that MASH kind of depressing sort of way. And
Yeah.
And he's never going to do another movie like
Lost in
Stripes, so it's unlikely
Translation
that he's
was
actually going to say,
Right.
yeah.
The what?
but not-
How does people not like that? That movie is great.
No,
No,
it was
I
a
love
great
Lost
movie.
in
It wasn't a funny movie though. It was like
But it
one of those
wasn't-
indie darling movies, you know? It's
I
like, look at
laughed
me.
my ass off
And
at him in that
Lost in
movie.
Translation is not funny the way fucking Stripes is funny, and it never will be.
Oh,
so it's
hell
like
yeah.
so it's just like a shame that's like, if that is the only roadblock between me and a really great fucking Ghostbusters game, I just, I love Bill Murray, but I fucking hate Bill Murray too. Just like, damn it, Murray, give me the
Exactly.
Ghostbusters game because that demo looks so fantastic, and like
It
you said,
does.
it is like
Dalai
the perfect.
Lama. He's
Exactly,
A big
it's
hitter.
It's the perfect
Ungula,
melding of like the
Gungula.
Gears of War style game and just fucking Ghostbusters, which is like my personal fantasy since I was like 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that shit. It's such a shame.
It did look quite good, but realistically, it doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen, which is kind of a bummer because
Yeah, it really is.
It'll get picked up on some cheap ass license for something, and it'll be named Peter Stinkman or something. Will be the
Oh God! Don't
Yeah,
say
that was the one idea that people were positing, was that if they were to replace Bill Murray with some random person.
Garbage game.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Oh, that was fantastic.
that was
rad.
so awesome.
Okay, so we're pissed because we want to see a Ghostbusters game. Gabe Newell, whatever the hell you want to pronounce his name as. He's the guy behind all the Half-Life games, who has become kind of a minor celebrity in the vein of, Sid Meier and these people who are famous for making video games.
Prolific designers, yeah.
Yeah. And so, because, he's behind Half-Life, and Half-Life is the shooter. He hates the PlayStation 3. He hates it so much. Like, he sits there in his house and balls up his fists and just shakes in the darkness.
Yeah. Between bags of Nutter Butters, he's like, motherfucking PS3,
Yeah, he's got so much rage. And, yeah, what is Gabe right? What
No.
No, I don't think he's right.
You guys are pro PS3?
No, I'm not pro PS3. Actually, there's something that I really wanted to say about this. I don't think that I think he's the far end of the spectrum, whereas on the other end of the spectrum, there's like the people that are like desperately hurling themselves at a Wii, like anytime they see one anywhere.
Isn't Gabe a PC gaming guy?
I don't know, but
so why
my
is that?
point,
Yeah, well, he's Valve,
He designs game engines.
The point is that, he has an extreme opinion, and that's fine because a lot of people do about a lot of these consoles. I don't think he's looking at the long term at all. I think he's looking at basically the major risks Sony took, the price point mainly. And also, there's a couple of other issues there, the whole Blu-ray issue. Will it be good? Will it not be good? But, honestly, I very much felt the way he felt when I first heard about the PS3. And, I haven't fully warmed to it, but I think that he's just expressing an extreme opinion.
Fair enough.
Also, Cox.
Oh, good. Okay.
Hey, I was wondering when someone was going to work that in.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead next.
I was just going to say that, when somebody like Gabe or John Carmack, who came out recently and spoke against Vista, would they talk about these kind of things? They're the guys who know, They have built their living on making game engines, They aren't just guys who come up with ideas for games. They do the actual hard coding for these things, the heavy lifting of it. And if anybody things are fucking stupid ideas, or that Vista is, not good for gaming, it's these guys. So the
only thing that's what scares me though is I don't. If he's saying the Wii is going to be better, it's like, I don't want to look at the Wii and play the Wii. Fucking
no.
for
It's
2
not that
years.
he's saying it's going to be better. He said that it's going to have a larger install base than the 360, which he's
Yeah,
not.
he said
industry
Sony
analyst,
fucked up.
So, yeah, the major point of his little rant was that Sony fucked up. Yeah, but
he's not saying. Okay, so he was just complaining that Sony is okay.
I think he's just coming at the angle that they made bad. They made bad marketing choices. I think Sony went for the long run and Nintendo went for the short run.
Well, of course, but what's wrong with that?
Nothing at all. By either,
Did Rob
really.
just defend Nintendo?
No.
No, I didn't.
Fuck you.
He's
he reinforced
not
Dave's
defending
point.
him.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm defending PS3.
I'll say this though. Next,
Okay.
I gotta agree with you that he is one of the guys. I'll listen to him. Like if Will Wright said something like, fuck Nintendo.
Well,
I'd be like, wow,
here's what he said. Did you already quote what he said?
I have not quoted.
I can.
Well,
Go
Newell
for it.
said the PS3 is a total disaster on so many
Yeah,
levels. I think
that's
it's
what he
really
said.
clear it lost track of what the customers and developers wanted. But how is it a total disaster on so many levels? I just think it's being very extreme.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
right.
no. It's undoubtedly that he's pushing it to the limit, as it were. But push it to the limit.
To say that they
Anyway.
should cancel it and do over?
No,
No,
I don't know.
that's out of
That's
control.
ridiculous, but
balling his
no one
fists and shaking in the darkness.
Exactly. But
Ah,
I think
it's such rage.
But I can sympathize with his assertion that it's I wouldn't call it a total disaster, but given that right now they've kind of lost track of their consumer base with the high price point and the lack of quality launch titles, and that sucks. But on top of that, you have like a whole ton of developers speaking out about the fact that the PS3
But it has a memory card slot. You need that. You need it.
The fact that the
Is
PS3
Ron in a
like
cave? What
notoriously
the fuck?
You can view your pictures. Bam-a-lam. You can view pictures and photos with your family.
He's
It's a
drinking
game
moonshine in a
machine.
cave. What the fuck?
Anyway,
Back
like
in time, what happened?
now, wasn't it announced when they announced Half-Life Episode 2 and Portal for the 360? They were also going to do it for the PS3. Like it was going to appear on both next-gen consoles,
Yes.
right?
They've
Now, see-
tented it.
Yes.
Yeah. When I read that, my first thing was like, well, maybe they've been working on that, and maybe they've been having such a bitch of a time getting it to work on the PS3 like it does on the PC and the 360 that
Yes.
he's just fucking enraged. You know, like, and I can sympathize with that because. I mean, with the PS2, there were a lot of developers who were complaining about the fact that it was really difficult to develop for, and we're seeing the same thing with the PS3.
Even to port a game to the PS3 is a fucking
It's advanced
nightmare
alien technology.
because of the cell processor.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, developers like Konami are going to do great things with it. I mean, because it's just like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 on the PS2. It's like, if you get a developer that will jump the hurdles and knows how to work the hardware, they're going to be able to do amazing fucking things. Things that will look better on the PS3 than will look on the other consoles.
But it's always
True.
going to take 10 times longer and 10 times more expensive.
Exactly.
To do
And
it.
and when you
that
get
and Sony-
developers... Oh.
Yes, Aaron? Go
Well,
ahead.
I said when you get developers like Valve, for example, who are used to working on the PC and can work in a PC-friendly environment like the 360, when they get their hands on the PS3 development kit, they're gonna get fucking crazy like Gabe Newell did because, you know, that's the difficulty that you run into. And honestly, I'm not surprised that he's upset as he is.
I think
Given all
Gabe
the
Newell
other,
said that also in part because he knows he can. He knows he can say something like that in the public
Yeah.
eye, and people will be like,
True.
"Oh my god, oh my
If
god."
I said it, nobody'd listen to me. But I
The
said it a
Messiah
lot,
has
and nobody
spoken.
listens to me. So
That's
no.
true. You are kind of a babbler.
Yeah, it's true. It's sad. All right. So Gabe Newell. Well, we agree with him. Kind of. Sort of. I think we can all agree that he weighs like 600 pounds. Okay. Right?
You know what? I was searching for pictures for him. Is there like a hate on him specifically? Because there's like all these like Photoshop contests for him, and like putting him in bad situations.
Are
He's
they,
just
like,
a
3
target
days
for the
old?
Counter-Strike kids, and the Counter-Strike kids are literally all 15, and there's a billion of them.
Yeah.
So
there were
they've
like
got
a
lot
ton of
anger.
like this Gabe Newell Photoshop contests and like
Yeah.
putting them in like bad,
Look
like
up
they
Jack
put him with gay
Thompson.
boys and stuff. It was funny.
Yeah.
Look up Jack Thompson. It's a lot of gay porn. So anyway, the big thing this week was this woman who I'll just tell the story because otherwise we'll start talking about it and you guys won't have any idea what the fuck we're talking about. This radio station, and I forget where, but it was a radio station somewhere here in the U.S. who decided they would have a
KDDR,
contest
wasn't
and
it?
they were going to give away a Wii. And their contest was, we're going to make you guys drink as much fucking water as possible, and the last one to urinate wins the Wii. And I think it was called something stupid like hold your Wii for a week. God, that fucking enrages me, and I'm sitting in the dark balling up my fists and shaking.
He's a
He's
But
about
so
to go
this
Gabe
woman-
Newell on us.
let it out.
I know, I so am. This woman,
Happy
the woman who won, she died. Apparently there's a condition called hypernatremia.
It's called
And-
stupid.
You can
It's-
fuck yourself up by not peeing.
Yeah, she drank a fuck ton of water, and basically what happens, you drink so much water that your cells oversaturate and burst, and so you're literally exploding from the inside.
Drown.
Why would you
And-
drink a fuck ton of water if the point was to hold your Wii? Wait, or did you have to pee a whole bunch? And I don't
They
know.
kept
No,
giving
no.
the
Yeah.
contest was
Water,
they would
like
give you water. The last person who had to pee won. You get it?
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So I don't pay much attention to my stories.
Now wait a minute. Now, just for the purposes of clarification, because I wasn't aware of this. Now, did
Yeah.
the radio station that held this contest, did they give them like a set amount of water, or was it like you drink as much
they
fucking
just
water as
kept
you
giving
can?
them water. They just kept giving them water, and then the last
See,
person who was like,
That's
I'm out,
ridiculous. Because I
wins.
would like, couldn't you just give them like 3 glasses of water and say now don't pee, and like that seems like just as good an idea as any that doesn't involve fucking death,
Yeah, you think that they would be able to ask anyone with a college degree, or even a high school degree, or even a 5-year-old whether they think that's a good idea.
So the lady really died?
Yeah,
She's really dead.
She was a mother of 3 children, I believe. She was trying to win
28
the Wii
years
for
old,
them.
mother
Oh
of 3.
my God.
There you go.
She was
And
trying to win a console.
she's
for
now
her kids.
dead. She drowned on her own bodily
Now those
fluid.
kids will have to live motherless. But did they get a Wii?
Yeah, but at the same time, they're like, sweet, we got a Wii, but mommy's dead. Damn it.
Wii mommy.
It's a win-win.
Wii mommy.
See, that's, like, how could you enjoy a Wii knowing that it was the console that your fucking mother died for? It's like,
Yeah,
kids
they're now
get WarioWare.
converts to Sony
Mommy's
forever.
dead.
They
Oh,
will
but
never
Zelda's a
again
10
play
out
a
of 10.
Nintendo
Zelda's a
system.
10 out of 10.
It is
Come
a
on.
4 out of 10. Fuck that shit.
Zelda's the greatest game ever.
As kind of an update to that story, later after it was found out that, oh my god, the radio station is, criminally negligent, they fired 10 people. I don't know what these 10 people did, who these 10 people were, but 10 people at the radio station got fired.
I'm pretty sure they fired the jockeys that were responsible.
It was two more. It was 2 of the
yeah.
morning DJs, and I think there's another one associated with the show, and then I guess the rest were probably producers and or people that thought up the idea in the first place.
Yes.
Probably like salespeople or something. Who knows?
Yeah, probably people that were
Yeah,
like
we
thought it
have
was
a
a good idea at one
contest.
time.
Yeah, that's gonna be our next
Yeah, let's
contest.
kill someone.
How much fire you can be enveloped in,
Oh, I want
and
something like
for a PlayStation 3.
How many
How
bullets
many
can you
bullets
take to the head?
stomach? Oh shit!
Which female reader can sex me up the most?
See, that totally ruined the theme, Ron. Way to
I
go.
didn't-
Unless she's gonna
$200.
have the HIV or something.
Which one can take the most mayonnaise?
So
I was going to go that route, but I backed off.
That's
There's
why I'm
always
here.
one of us willing to go that route.
bizarrely, that wasn't about semen. That was actually about mayonnaise. So yeah, it's fucked up. This radio station literally killed a woman, and they're also out of Wii. What the fuck were they thinking?
What sucks is she didn't know that the Wii totally sucks and that it was totally not worth her time to even be doing that.
Or her death, for that
That's
matter.
the real
She
sad
died
part of
for
the story.
nothing.
She probably could have worked for about 10 hours and made $250 and actually just bought the fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? She could have ripped off a 7-Eleven and gone to jail for, like, what, a week? And, I don't know how the legal system
as I
works.
understand it, it's still in many parts of the country. It's still damn near impossible to find a Wii. I guess that's what I hear. I know that
I haven't
here,
seen one in any of the stores here. So.
I saw one. I saw
don't go
one
to
like
stores.
the week after Christmas, and then I saw one again last week. But I've only seen a handful of them. And I guess if your kids who were let down over Christmas, really wanted a Wii, didn't get one. If you saw an opportunity like this pop up, everyone is like, that woman's stupid. Like, needs to be punched in the face. That's not. Like,
she doesn't realize.
You do what you gotta do for your kids, damn it. That's why you
and
have
it's-
kids.
and
Because
can
you don't
tell
want a
that,
life
like,
anymore.
It's not exactly, water intoxication is not exactly a well-known kind of deal, because obviously there are people like, you can die. I mean, there are a lot of people commenting who are saying, like, you can die from drinking too much water.
Because those people are stupid.
They
die
are
from too
fucking
much
stupid.
anything.
But you can't,
They really are.
You can't blame a woman for wanting to provide for her children, wanting to get them a console they wanted, regardless of whether or not we think it was worth the effort or if we think the Wii is worth that kind of time. Everyone, I just want to, fucking disembowel anyone who says, like, that woman's stupid, fuck you. I'm just like, you inconsiderate, fucking an asshole. Like, seriously, that's just horrible.
If she was guilty of
damn it.
anything, it was loving too much.
Yeah.
Her children, not the Wii or water really, because she probably didn't like water that
That's
much.
the same thing John Wayne Gacy was guilty of.
That's right. Loving too much.
That's right.
All right, so it's fucked up. The radio station killed a woman. We're upset. God damn it.
This guy should be burned to death.
The most important part of this podcast, the thing that I've been waiting for the whole goddamn time, the biggest release this week, and probably this year.
WarioWare for the Wii.
Yeah, WarioWare
Shut
came out,
the
right?
fuck up. I hate you guys.
Hotel Dusk.
The Burning Crusade for World of Warcraft. I've been playing it the whole time that we've been doing this podcast. It's fucking phenomenal,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
Yeah, I know, and you
Next-
can see how well I multitask. Yeah.
Enlighten us as to what exactly is different, because as I understand it, they raised the level cap to 70, and then some dude did it in a day.
Yes, the
28
French
hours.
guy who took 28 hours to get from
We leave
60
no
to
shower.
70, which is ridiculous. But
Well, what else is different about it aside from the level cap?
Well, okay. Honest,
There's
one of you
PvP
didn't like World of
stuff.
Warcraft to begin with. This expansion is not going to make you like it, but at the same time, it adds stuff like flying mounts that you can actually pilot around. So you literally can fly anywhere in these new sections. Tons and tons of new armor. The biggest thing that it added is the
jewels. I can have jewels. Look at me.
You fuck. The point is, for people like me who hit 60 a year and a half ago and who've been sitting around doing nothing this whole time, we now have.
You know, there's other
to
games
do.
out there, right? That you can play.
There are, but they're not as entertaining.
No, wait a minute.
You know?
Wait a minute. If you, this is something I've always been wondering. Maybe you can tell me why. Now, once you hit 60, what the fuck do you do? Like, why do people still play 8 hours a day after they hit level 60? Like, what do you do?
A, I don't play 8 hours a day, and B,
okay, some people do though. After they
some
hit 60,
people do.
So why would they?
What they do is. There's a lot of high-level items and shit like that, and there are these high-level instances that literally take 40 people to go through, and you can't do them until you're level 60, and so basically they run them over and over and over again to get the better items, which is something I did it for like 2 months, right? And then I gave it up.
Right, next.
That's right, yeah, the epic tier sets. There's like 3 different tiers of them, and there's like 9 pieces in each tier, and each piece. I've got like 6 of these pieces, and I think each piece takes like, on average, 6 total hours of raiding, something like that.
Why can't you just hit somebody with a sword and steal their piece?
Well, you can do that up to 60, but once you hit 60, you can't.
No,
so that's
you
the
can't
huge
steal
thing.
someone else's shit, though.
It's
not like
not that
Ultima.
simple. Yes, it's a bit more difficult, but that's the big thing about the expansion is that now there are 10 more levels that people
doing
can,
the same thing
but
over and
now
over.
Shit.
Once you reach 70 though, you're going to be back to the same place where you're like, there's nothing to do, and fuck, this sucks.
Well,
And
Aaron, to alleviate that, they've added these PvP arenas where now you can have like teams, so you can have teams.
There
of
is
2,
that. There's
teams
also
of, like,
much higher level instances. That
it's
you
just
will
basically
still
new
need.
shit that you're gonna do over and over again. It's basically at the end of the day, a year from now, next is gonna be like, I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
That's right.
You know,
So like I said, if you don't like it to begin with, if you didn't like World of Warcraft to begin with, it won't change your mind. But if you did like World of Warcraft, it's huge.
See, I'm not
It's
trying to shit on you for
huge,
like World of
but-
Warcraft. It's great that you do whatever, but this is the kind of shit that like drives me nuts. This is why what was her name? Karen Shu? This is why her comments on G4 just blew my mind, because how anyone could spend 2 years doing essentially the same shit, and this is after reaching level 60, and still feel like they're getting some worth out. And again, this is because I don't like the game, and like you said, there's some people who are like you who are totally into this. I'm not one of them. So the idea of spending $500 over 2 years doing like the same shit and sitting with a bunch of assholes and doing raids and stuff, and I got a cloud song and my bullshit. I'm just.
It also helps if you get into a group, or if you have long-term people who you play with who are cool people.
You have to be in a good group or guild.
Well, yeah, but the people that you play
people.
with doesn't change the content of the game, and it doesn't change. It doesn't. Change
it does
what
make
the
it more
game
enjoyable, though.
is.
It makes it a hell of a lot more fun.
I have a friend who just played these games just because he could talk to people online and stay with the same group of
that's
people.
A big part of
the
it.
only reason he played. That's all. It didn't matter what the game was. He played EverQuest. He played EverQuest 2. He played WoW. He played Ultima. Like, it didn't matter. That's the only reason he played those games.
It's true, yeah. And EverQuest 2 sucks ass, by the way. But
and that's why he's playing. And he recently got 360 and he got Xbox Live. And like the first thing he wanted to do is build up a friends list because the social aspect of it was the most important thing to him.
Yeah, there's this huge social aspect. I'm in a guild called the Gypsy Cab Company on the Uther server.
Called the nerd crew.
Out, right? I know. And the funny thing is,
I'm not going to be able to get hard for a month.
I'm the prettiest one of all of you.
Gypsy Cab server level 28. Yeah.
But the point is, I've been playing this game with these same people for the last year or so, and there's a lot to that social aspect.
You got some niggas on your back.
That's right, exactly.
All right.
So,
can somebody yell "moving on"?
Yes, moving the fuck on.
Moving on, Burning Crusade. Yes, it is a really good expansion. When I played it,
if you're into World of Warcraft,
nice.
Get it. You don't really have a choice anyway. You're gonna get it. So
if you were burned out like I was after you got to 50, you'll probably enjoy this next one for about 3 months, and then you'll be burned out again. So
exactly what Rob said. So moving on to what seems to be like everybody's favorite part of it, which is why I save it for last, so you fuckers have to listen to the whole thing. we're going to go through and read the questions that are that the Destructoid readers have for us, and comment on them and possibly swear at you guys, because that's what we do. Here's a question about CES. This guy called IRAF. Seriously, we've got to institute a rule that makes these people have more pronounceable names.
He's not allowed to Photoshop anymore. He's too good at it.
What did he do?
Fucking contest, IRAF.
What did he do?
He wins every fucking Photoshop contest.
He's too good. Was there anything at CES about Halo 3?
Ron?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
It's cool.
Saw some other stuff, but
there
no.
was a private Microsoft thing that people weren't allowed to get into, and I couldn't even get anybody into it. And they had some stuff going on in there and some happenings, and they had some cool stuff, and I got, it was there, and it was cool. Yay. That's all you need to know.
That was great. Okay.
Hey, fucking Gears of War coming out on a PC.
It is?
Yeah.
You can confirm that?
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Okay, there you go. We have just confirmed it because everybody else kind of knew it was coming.
That's what you call a distraction.
Way to go.
Look, Ma!
I got Gears of War in one hand and a dying bird in my other. So, Aaron, this one...
My penis is in. You missed it.
Aaron, this one is kind of for you. But everybody can chime in, though I don't imagine the rest of you have any idea what the hell. Aaron, this guy named Harvey, he said, how is Earthbound such an ungodly, fantastic game, and just how much hope has Lindy being Aaron, placed into the various translation groups working on Mother 3?
Oh.
Mother 3 being the third Earthbound game that just came out in Japan.
This got really interesting. Oh, Jesus.
No. I'm just really shocked. Hey,
shut up. Let me talk.
No, I'm just shocked someone asked it. Wait, who'd you say asked that question?
A guy named Harvey.
Okay. I know that guy. Fuck you, I have the flu.
Ron, okay, let Ron talk.
God damn it, I'm delirious and half retarded.
Go ahead.
All right. Earthbound, if anyone of you who is listening have not played Earthbound, it was a really great, fantastic, classic SNES RPG that I rank personally amongst the likes of Final Fantasy III and Chrono Trigger. It's that good. The battle system is fairly simplistic, but it builds on traditions of Dragon Quest, but it does so much more with it, and it's funny as hell, which is one of the reasons that I personally was really looking forward to Mother 3. Earthbound was Mother 2, which is a sequel to an NES game in Japan called obviously Mother. All of them kind of work on the same vein. They're these really kind of kooky, sort of crazy modern era RPGs. There's a couple of here's actually what happened. Okay, so if you guys go to starmen.net, it's basically a fan site for this massively these guys, the Earthbound fan culture base they're all fucking nuts. Like every one of them, they're just out of their minds because they are so crazy for this. I've never seen a fan base more committed to the games that they worship than the starmen.net guys. They're nuts. So they were anticipating after Mother 3 came out in Japan, they were for the Game Boy Advance, they were really, really hoping that it was going to be coming over here, and E3 passed, and Tokyo Game Show passed, and there was no mentioning of a U.S. release for Mother 3, and that disappointed a lot of people, me included. Up until now, I think there's a couple, like Starman.net, the guys there have finally announced that they're planning on doing a fan translation for Mother 3, and on top of that, there's a group of guys from the Something Awful forums who are also doing a fan translation. You can find that at mother3.org, I believe. And
which is a haven for creativity. Something Awful. They are.
That's right. Yeah, and they're a good bunch of guys, and they really love, especially the Mother and Earthbound fan base on Something Awful. I mean, they know their shit. They're really committed to getting something good out. Like, I can't imagine the Mother fan base is so so into what they do that I can't imagine them doing anything short of real justice towards the translation if it's something that goes through. Again, I'm going to reserve judgment for when I actually see it, but I'm looking forward to it, if only because it'll finally allow me to play the game in such a way where I'm not stumbling around and running into walls and acting borderline retarded, or at least more than I usually do.
That's true.
I'm not that I'm I'm not savvy enough to play through a Japanese game. I did it a couple times when I was younger, and I never want to do it again. So I'm waiting for the translation, and we'll just have to wait and see. I'm really looking forward to it, and you guys should too. And I don't care if Nintendo, rapes me in the butt for saying so. But if and when the translation comes out, buy the game so you can download the ROM, or just download the ROM and get the translation and play it, because it's bound to be one of the best games you'll ever play. From what I understand of the story and what I've played of it, it's really fucking good. It's probably one of the best Game Boy Advance games ever made. So, something to look into for those of you who are not aware.
Good work. That was more entertaining than Nexus Taxi Cab Confession Claim or whatever.
That was the most in-depth thing anyone has ever said on this podcast. Way to go, Aaron. From now on, it's all downhill.
And I have the flu, for fuck's sake. You guys are...
Yeah. Way to go. Way to go. Your brain's melting.
Yeah, I'm going to go pass out now.
We've got one question left. I'm going to do one more question.
One
because,
left? There's like
one.
Because I have
There's 8
to
of
go
them say
to
butt
work.
sex.
Fuck you guys. I'm the host. I got to go to work. So,
Con.
I'm not taking a con question because that doesn't do me any good.
What was Major Nelson like? He was cool. He was actually
very
a really
cool.
nice guy. Yeah.
Very cool. All of Microsoft's nice, man.
That was my second choice for a
he
question.
Plugged us on the radio show. Well, I don't want to listen to you 5 minutes and tell us about one question. I just... He won't.
See, I just killed Ron. There you go. He smarted off.
Did anyone touch Jenna's boobs?
I
No
didn't.
comment.
I wasn't even there, so I guess I didn't.
What was the question you wanted to know, next?
Do we think Barack Obama should run for the
I
White
knew
House
you
in
were
2008?
fucking gonna go for this.
Oh.
That's a good question. It's a valid fucking question.
Do I think he
Despite
should
having
run?
nothing to
What
do
does he
with
stand
games.
for? I don't know anything about
I
him.
want to say, first of all, that I think he should because I think
Oh,
it
you're out of your
will,
fucking
it will
mind?
shake
You
up
don't
the
know anything
bourgeois.
about
Do you know anything?
politics?
What's
Male.
about him, though? Yeah, but what about him? Where does he stand? I
Who
don't know
gives
anything
a
about him.
fuck?
Oh,
He can't
okay.
be worse than the guys we have there now.
Ray Bush
Oh,
didn't go to
great
college for
answer.
video games. He went for political science. I take this shit seriously. Barack
Hit it.
Obama will be fucking disemboweled if he runs for president.
That's
Because
what-
he's
Way-
black?
Because
Not just because he's black, because he's only had 2 years of major political experience. He will be ripped to fucking shreds. It'll never happen, you guys.
So if he had more experience, would he, even though he's
Yes.
black?
Yes, no problem.
no. The
Okay.
black thing has nothing to do with it. The fact that his
No,
middle
yeah.
name is Hussein, that has
Right.
a lot to do with it.
He can't carry a presidential election. He can't.
I want to see him.
He can't.
I,
He will
I,
be ripped to bits.
I'll tell you this:
Too early.
If he runs, and if he actually gets a nomination, I'll vote for him. Just because I really like the guy, I like his politics, I like where he stands. Obviously, we're not a political show, so I'm not going to get into it. But short thing is, I like him, but I don't trust the American public enough to vote for a black candidate whose middle name is Hussein. Like that,
That's
those two
true.
facts are going to blow off so many fucking people. They're going to be like, his middle name's Hussein? That means he's a terrorist, and he's wearing
Every
dynamite
Republican
right now.
commercial is going to say Hussein on it, and they're just going to bury it in your head that he's
They're going
only
to start
had 2
calling him
years
by
of
his full name, and
experience.
that's all it's going to take.
You don't
They're
want
gonna-
somebody as president and leader of the fucking free world that has only had 2 years major political experience. You don't do
Colette?
it. Sorry.
Colette, as the only minority
Wake up,
on this
woman.
show, will you chime in, please? What do you think?
Women aren't a minority.
I think Colette's dead. That's great.
She's finishing dishes.
She's
She had to go do my
putting in a
laundry.
tampon.
She had to go do my laundry.
That's great.
She asked
That's
me to
great.
make her feel like a woman, so I left my clothes outside of her house.
All right, let's
God,
wrap it up.
sexism is awesome.
Okay,
Okay,
we have a good question. O'Connor asked a good question.
okay,
What?
I'll do one more, and then I really got to go. So,
Review up to date 5 games or so for each console that make it worth having said console.
fuck ass. This is gonna take forever.
Just say some fucking good games.
Next, just say something and go.
Okay.
Bravo.
What
I don't think there
console?
are 5 games for the Wii or the PS3 that would reasonably
there
make
aren't.
it
Is there
one of
anything
them.
for the PS3?
But I think that for the 360, I would say Dead Rising, Gears of War,
Rainbow Six Vegas.
Rainbow Six Vegas, yeah.
no, it's better on the PC.
No, it's not.
Lost
No,
Planet
it's
from,
not.
From
Not
everything
even
I've heard.
close.
Lost Planet, I
is
would
sick.
say,
Haven't got to play it yet.
I would say Oblivion, except I like that
Marvel
one on the PC
Ultimate
as well.
Alliance. Marvel
And Marvel
Ultimate
Ultimate Alliance is fucking awesome on any platform. Okay, there's my 5. Anybody else got anything
Is
else?
there anything
What
on
you
the
got?
PS3?
Who you got?
Anything? Gran Turismo
Resistance
HD
Fall of Man is good, man. I'm telling you.
It's
The
not
piece-
as
the
good as
most-
other
yeah, it
shit
is.
like
Big bumpin'.
The multiplayer
Bike
side of
racer.
it is so PC gaming like. It's just fucking awesome, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, but also you could get a PC. Yeah.
But I could have a PS3 that I paid less for and play more games. And I got Blu-ray.
Oh,
But then you can't play World
You can
of
see the
Warcraft.
future, bitch.
Yeah.
But
What
no,
is
I
what's
think
the
it
standouts
really
on
is
the
sad
Wii?
that the best PlayStation 3
Nothing.
game is probably the Gran Turismo tech demo.
Resistance, man. I'm telling you, it's a good game.
it's a first-person.
Look, if you like first-person shooters,
Second
Call of
rate
Duty.
first-person
I think
shooter.
it's better online than Gears of War. And I think it's
Second-rate first-person shooter.
no, it's not second
Yes.
rate.
It doesn't
It's
even
not.
touch
Trust me.
Half-Life.
Hey, let me
It's
tell
not
you.
even in
there hasn't been a first-person shooter since Half-Life 2 that has been better than Half-Life 2. It just hasn't happened yet.
Okay, I'm not comparing it to Half-Life 2.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. It's
What
a
does that have to do with
second-rate
anything?
First-person shooter. My
So
point
what?
is that
So
it's-
what? Every RPG is second rate to Earthbound? It doesn't mean it's any less of a game or not fun or not worth having for a console.
No. What I'm saying is that first-person shooters have become really stale, and it's an example of like saying
Maybe
that
to you, you
Resistance-
don't like them.
What the
That's
fuck are
like
you
me
talking about? I love first-person shooters. I just don't like them on the console. But that's not the point. The point is that Resistance doesn't do anything